Hello everyone, it's me, RPG, again, and today we are talking about everybody's favorite topic, snails. Am I right? Am I right? No? Okay. So, if you've been keeping up with my channel, you might have seen the post I made where, I discussed my top 5 favorite movies of all time, and you saw that my number 3 most favorite movie of all time was Turbo. You know, the hit animated movie made by DreamWorks in 2013, Turbo. What's that? You haven't heard of Turbo? Well, I don't blame you. It's one of the more forgettable DreamWorks movies. And for good reason. I mean, who wants to watch a movie about a racing snail? I'll tell you what, I do. You know why? Because this is the greatest fucking movie of all time, and you have no idea what you're talking about, Shay Frillis. Yeah, I know you're watching this. Actually, you're probably not, but yeah, Shay Frillis. So, I think the best thing to talk about first is what is Turbo? Well, that's simple. Turbo is a 2013 American animated sports comedy film produced by DreamWorks Animation. The film was directed by David Soren, that's one hell of a name, and written by Soren at the same time. Darren Lemke, I think that's how you pronounce his name, and Robert Siagal, or what the fuck kind of last name is that? And it stars Ryan Reynolds, some other people, Snoop Dogg, Maya Rudolph, and Samuel L. Jackson. In the film, a garden snail pursues his dream of winning the Indianapolis 500 after a freak accident gives him the speed. I am speed. You know what Lightning McQueen's saying? So, most of it was by David Soren. This man had a fucking vision when making this. And it stars everyone I just said, and it was edited by this dude named James Ryan, cinematography by Chris Stover, and distributed by 20th Century Fox. It was released in May 2013, in Europe, and July 17, 2013, in the United States. The entire movie is 96 minutes in total. It was released in the US, in English, obviously, because there's no fucking person in the United States speaking French, is there? And the budget was $135 million. And that's good because it scored $200.6 million. You know? So, the way this movie was basically conceptualized was in 2009, DreamWorks Animation organized a competition for its staff to submit a one-page pitch for some ideas. And that makes me kind of sad, because that means we probably missed on some great films, but that doesn't matter because the GOAT ended up winning. And Snail's concept was The Fast and the Furious with snails. And he won the competition for some reason. I don't know what executives thought that was an interesting concept, but I'm glad they did because he did it. With no further development for several years, Soren pushed the project again after he and his family moved into a new home with a backyard infested with snails. Kind of ironic, not gonna lie. For the racing elements of the film, Soren was inspired by his son's fascination with race cars. That's certainly something. I mean, you could have just based it on, race cars, but you do you, I guess. So, it premiered at Cine Europe on May 2013, and was theatrically released in the United States on July 7th, 2013, by the mans themselves, 20th Century Fox. It received generally positive reviews from critics, and despite earning $282 million on a $127 million budget, the film was a box office disappointed, with the studio taking a $16 million write-down on the film. A television series based on the film, known as Turbo Fast, also the greatest thing to ever grace this godforsaken planet, was released in 2013 too. Man, oh man, they really thought they were doing something with this movie. And the Loki were kind of right. So now, about the movie itself, because that's what you came for this for, right? at least I think. So, in a suburban tomato garden of Van Nuys, I don't know how to pronounce that either, in California, Theo, self-named Turbo, is a garden snail who dreams of being a racer like his hero, five-time Indy 500 champion, the GOAT himself, Guy Gagne! Let's go! However, his obsession with racing is obnoxious. So, his coworkers beat the shit out of him. I'm just kidding. They just go like, "Hey, he's racing. What a loser," and just kind of, continue. And this is really embarrassing to his older brother, Chet, who is blue. Yeah, he's not the only blue character you're going to be seeing in this movie. One night, after nearly getting killed in a lawnmower accident while attempting to retrieve a fallen tomato, Theo wanders off to a freeway to try and kill himself, and then falls off. And then he falls down onto a street race, causing him to fall into the supercharger of a Chevrolet Camaro, fusing his body with nitrous oxide. You know, the guy from Crash Bandicoot. Was it? Yeah, Crash Bandicoot. Upon waking up the next day, he gradually discovers he now possesses the characteristics of a car for some reason. I don't know how the hell that happened. What, is that going to happen to me if I drink nitrous oxide? Exactly. But his first attempt using his newfound powers ends with him almost killing a child on his tricycle and almost killing a lot of his coworkers and destroying the, workplace. Average workplace problems. And then that's what results in Theo and Chet getting fired. I don't know what Chet did wrong, but okay. So, Chet gets really pissed, and while he's getting all angry, crashing out on Theo, he's snatched by a crow. Thank goodness it's not a hawk. But Theo rescues him by just chasing him down and managing to get him down from the crow at a strip mall called Starlight Plaza. And then they're both captured by the main man, Tito, a taco truck. What? A taco? A taco truck driver who works at the plaza and are brought to a snail race. Again, who the fuck goes to these events? You have to be those boring ass person if you go to a goddamn snail race held by him and his coworkers, and Theo wins the race because he's good, earning the respect of the snails led by Whiplash, the firmly establishing the name Turbo as his own because he's good. While Tito plans to revive Starlight Plaza with Turbo as the main attraction, but Tito's older brother, Angelo, is not a fan of that and is like, "No, you don't do that, you continue making tacos." Turbo convinces Tito to enter him in the upcoming Indy 500 as a competitor, and after the snails divert and strand a tour bus to see Turbo Superspeed, bringing impressive business. And Tito's co-workers agree to put him in the entrance fee and accompany them to the Indianapolis, baby, let's go. At the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Turbo gets to show off his speed after a chance meeting with Guy Gagne, the sick man himself. Both qualifying for the race by achieving a speed of 226 miles per hour, damn, and becoming a sensation on social media, and the CEO of IndyCar I can't fucking read. Reluctantly lets Turbo compete with Gagne because he supports him like a champ. The night before the race, Turbo sneaks out after a heated argument with Chet because he fucking hates him. But Turbo encounters Gagne, who has turned out to be a dick, and he's gonna fucking kill Turbo, as you'll see later. He just tells Turbo to fuck off, then, he just sleeps in a garbage can, I guess. Then the next day, when the race begins, the more experienced competitors leave Turbo in last place during a pit stop, and Whiplash and his crew give Turbo a pep talk, not pet talk, what the fuck? Well, he's technically a pet, but still. Anyway, they advise him to stop racing like a car and use his size to his advantage, which Turbo does. But Gagne tries to kill everyone, Turbo tries to make it, and Gagne tries to kill everyone again, this time succeeding. Well, actually, I don't think he killed anyone. Probably killed one person, but Turbo survives to find the race at a standstill, but with his shell demolished, and his speed vanish, causing him to give up because he's a loser. But Chet is really shocked to see his brother with a change of heart, and he's like, I've changed my mind. Keep going. And then, motivated by the support, Turbo resumes the race. Gagne desperately pursues him by dragging his wrecked car and attempts to hurt Turbo by stepping on him. Hurt Turbo is wild, though. I'm pretty sure that counts as murder, even though he is a snail. Also, why do you need to drag your car to the finish line? Just bolt to the finish line and you win. Actually, that might not be how it works, but still, I'm pretty sure you're out of the race even if you make it over the finish line with a broken-ass car. But Turbo does the good old tuck and roll and gets to win the race. Let's go. And Gagne gets arrested for attempted murder. Then, the Starlight Plaza thrives from Theo's fame, and all the businesses become spectacular because they are successful as shit. Then they hold elaborate snail races just about every damn day. Again, who fucking watches a snail race? Boring. And now, all of them are fast, even the fat one. And now, that's the end of the movie. What do you guys think? You think it's dumb? Well, too bad, because you're fucking dumb. Because this movie is the greatest thing to ever grace this goddamn society. Aside from Stuart Little and Barnyard, but... Little? What the fuck? Anyway, so, as you can see, this movie is not very, well received by anyone. You know, because man, oh man, did this movie get off to a rough start. So, like, Shea Frillis got really mad at the movie, a bunch of other people got really mad at the movie, and now it's just left to rot as a failure. But that's until I pick it up and talk about it. Because that's exactly what I just did for 13 minutes, Jesus Christ. But, yeah, my whole point is, I'm right, you're wrong, shut the fuck up, bye, subscribe for more.